जो है ना अंदर से स्ट्रांग बना दूँगा। कोई गलत डिसीजन था। तूने एक रोबोट पे ट्रस्ट किया। कैसे ट्रस्ट किया? Which among the following may be caused due to excessive salt intake? Osteoporosis, stomach cancer, coronary artery plaque, kidney issue and the arthrosis. सारे ही होते हैं। अच्छा तो साला मानसिक रोगी लगता है, पीछे पड़ गया मेरे। Which of the following statement is not correct regarding H5N1 avian influenza is affecting wild birds much less than domestic birds? Wild birds की वजह से ज़्यादा होता है much less than domestic birds, ठीक है? तो नॉट करेक्ट, तो यही नॉट करेक्ट है। ओके, तो यहाँ पर हमने देखा कि H1N1 is a poultry, 96 geese, and after undergoing it is surfaced Hong Kong and now has resulted high mortality in the poultry. Unlike the previous outbreak of highly pathogenic subtype of avian influenza, heavily impacting the wild birds species and the high mortality rate 70% of the human, and oseltamivir, that was a Tamiflu, and paramivir and zanamivir, that was all human infection of the WHO. Which of the following statement not correct regarding the polar science PACER scheme? It provide funding for the scientific research expedition to an Antarctic region only. So that is not true. PACER is a scheme comprising the Antarctic program, India Arctic program, Southern Ocean program, and the Cryosphere and Climate program. And successfully that was Arctic, Antarctic, and that was the polar ocean. It is an initiative launched by Ministry of Earth Science and funding for the scientific research and Arctic region and cryos. Here book का गाने छड़ multidisciplinary research खीर पीते हो मैं atmospheric and oceanic science biology training for the researcher. NCPOR is a stand for National Center for Polar Ocean Research. National Center for Polar Ocean is the Maitri and the Bharati and Himadri. Antarctica research base, that was Maitri, Bharati, and Indian Arctic, that was Himadri. Antarctica, Maitri and Bharati, and Indian Arctic, that was the Himadri. Where does the recently reported bacteria Listeria monocytogenesis exist? Soil, water, and animal intestine. Listeria monocytogenesis is a bacteria that causes infection with the flu-like symptom, temperature, muscle ache, and the pain and chills feeling. Preventable and treatable disease. Food. It is found in water, soil, and some animal intestine, and bacteria usually find its way into the humans and cold, ready-to-eat foods and UN national health, which is the important economic operation benefits of using the pulverized coal injection. Higher blast furnace productivity, lower consumption of expedition coking coal, reduce overall emissions, and a greater flexibility of the blast furnace operation. Blue bugging. It is a hacking technique that allows individuals to access a device with a discoverable Bluetooth connection. That was the blue bugging. So the bluebugging is a hacking technique that allows the individual to access a device which is discoverable Bluetooth connection, full control of it, and the hacker can read the send message, access, and the victim phone book. So initially the bluebugging focused on the eavesdropping, and with the increasing use of smartphone, cyber criminals and that was hacking method that lets the send unsolicited messages. Blue hacking, the process of surrounding cyber attack. Typical chalk a page element. Advanced driver of the assistant system. It is a new technology found in luxury cars, not yet been fully developed. That is not true. Some common its features are include adaptive cruise control, lane and departure warning, blind sun, automatic emerging braking. It is a new technology found in luxury cars and has not yet been fully developed. That is not true. It is a feature include the adaptive cruise control and automatic. So it is advanced driver assistance system, sensor, camera, monitor surrounding, and it was driver assistance system is now commonly found in range of cars. मतलब सब में ही होता है, not only advanced. Adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, blind spot detection, automatic emergency braking, review camera. Next one, consider the National Technology Day. The day was commenced the successful nuclear test 98 and India became the world's 5th nuclear power. That is not true. 6-1 and the theme of National Technology Day was integrated approach in science and technology sustainable future. So that was 2023, now it's 22 I think. So May 11 is the National Technology Day. 98 first nuclear test was conducted. 74 Smiling Buddha, India has become the world's 6th nuclear power, not 5th. United States, Soviet Union, Britain, France and China. Okay. Now India denoted 3 nuclear bombs and that was Shakti 1 nuclear mission, Hansa 3 Trishul and short range missile है. यहाँ पे Hansa 3 is the first indigenous aircraft है and Shakti nuclear missile है जो कि टेस्ट फायर की पोखरण रेंज. School to startup igniting young minds to innovate. Laser interferometer, gravitational wave observatory, LIGO, Homi Baba, Cancer Hospital of Platinum Jubilee, an integrated approach for science technology sustainable future. That was 22 में है, 23 में नहीं है. बताया था ना 22 not 23. अब है Google DeepMind, reinforcement learning game theory, Opera AI that was the natural language processing text generation, IBM Watson that was cognitive computing, and TensorFlow that was a generate the purpose machine for the learning library. ठीक है, देखते हैं प्रश्न देखते हैं उनको करते पोजिशन करोगे. So Google DeepMind is a reinforcing learning game theory and Opera AI that was the natural language processor Opera AI and IBM Watson that was a cognitive computer equation and the TensorFlow that was a general purpose machine learning. E-retrofitment, transportation, building, industrial process and the power generation. सब में e-retrofitment news it has been various application that was transportation, building, industrial process and power generation. ठीक है. So that was the down to earth में दिया गया है process of upgrading the modifying the system device infrastructure new technology energy efficiency reduce emission and minimize environment impact. Climate change e-reinforcement it can help to reduce the greenhouse gas emission and improve the overall energy efficiency. Transportation, building, industrial process and power generation, emission reduction and energy efficiency, economic benefits and job creation and resilience. कितनी लगती है अंदर सब पता चल जाए. उन्होंने क्या किया मेरे साथ. Sendai Yokohama strategy that was disaster management and it was recent decade of global framework for the development disaster risk reduction proclaimed International Decade of Natural Disaster Yokohama Hogyo Framework 2015 Sendai and that was the Paris Agreement Addis Ababa Action on New Urban Agenda Sustainable Development Goal. Recently carbon border adjustment it was European Union. It was came into effect of the European Union carbon border adjustment mechanism put a fair price on the carbon emitting during this production of carbon emitting intensive goods, encourage the cleaner industrial production of non-EU, phase out the location free allowances under the EU emission trading system, and fit for 55 in 2030 package and EU plan to reduce the greenhouse gas emission, prevent the carbon leakage by the subjecting the import and the certain group of the EU, and that was levy linkage. Climate change, ocean acidification, geothermal, ozone depletion, land use, and the biodiversity loss all are because of the planetary boundaries. Planetary boundaries are the aim to define the environment, limit the humanity, and the can safe operates. Biodiversity loss, land use change, climate change, geothermal and freshwater use, ocean acidification, chemical pollution, atmospheric loading, ozone depletion, global land outlook report, that was geochemical cycle. Exceed these breaches directly linked to the human desertification, land distortion as a continuum of activity that avoid the reduced reverse land degradation. 70% of the earth area's natural state is contributed to the degradation. Recently, Mission Life was seen in news to engage the individual in mitigating the adverse effect of climate change. That was the Mission Life and the World Environment Day 2023. Global initiative by India to the fight against the climate change leads to a sustainable way of life, achieve sustainable development goal, engage individual in mitigating the adverse effect of climate change, initiating the encouraging lifestyle that focus on mindful and deliberate utilization, use of the dispose of habit, life, and the contribute to climate change to use strength, social network, and pro-planet. The gestation period of the cheetah is a 93-day. Cheetah is the wild hare and average age was 10 to 12 years, and male cheetah are the slightly bigger than the female and they have larger head. Cub is the adolescent was the adult life 24, gestation 93, and the cub mortality higher protected area was the wildlife. Cheetah cub was the mortality is 90% while have an average of the span of 10 to 12 years. Weight is 75 pounds, and now there was a sexually dimorphic species, though it's difficult to identify the cheetah, and it was the confused gauge was halting, and that was signaling helping young cub, which is incorrect of the thawing permafrost. Thawing is does not contribute to the global warming. That is not true. So the permafrost is layer of the soil sediment or the rock is the latest 2 consecutive year. Arctic, subarctic, and high altitude area remains below 0 degree, and the thawing permafrost refer to the process by which the permanently frozen ground begin warm and melt. Thawing permafrost Arctic is leading to release of previously trapped industrial pollution, heavy metal like mercury, and the organic pollutant. Numerous environment impact release the greenhouse gases, methane and the potent greenhouse gas, carbon dioxide and methane. And thawing permafrost also has the consequences for infrastructure and the human settlement. Coastal erosion, wildlife habitat, alter the ecosystem, and studying thawing permafrost, understand its consequences, monitoring gas emission, assessing the infrastructure and method to the stabilize the reef ridge thawing. It is the only tiger habitat in the world with the melanistic tiger. That was the Simplipal, okay, and the geographically it lies in the western end of the Eastern Ghat. East Ghat में मिलता है क्या? That is not true. It is Western Ghat में मिलता है Simplipal, ठीक है. It is a part of UNESCO and it is the elephant reserve, the Mayurbhanj elephant reserve. So the death of the rare black tiger reported after 3 decades in Odisha Mayurbhanj district. Eastern Ghat is incorrect. That was in the northern part of the. It lies the eastern end of the Eastern Ghat. Okay, so that is given here. Eastern western end नहीं है, eastern end of the Eastern Ghat. ठीक है. Situated the northern part of Odisha Mayurbhanj, and 4374 square kilometer was the core forest, and it is given the Simplipal tiger, the only tiger habitat world with the melanistic tiger and the broad black that was running. So Project Tiger, and it was National Biosphere Reserve since the popularly known as the Mayurbhanj Elephant Reserve and the Simplipal the Wildlife Sanctuary. Black tiger are the rare color and the variant of the tiger, but now due to the geographical isolation generally related to the have a mating with this, but Sundarban, Nanda Devi and the Gulf of Mannar, Nakrik, Manas Simpla and the Achar Kamal and the Agast Malay World Network of Biosphere Reserve was a UNESCO Marine Biosphere Reserve. Dark blue tiger, that was butterfly, double branded crow. So dark blue tiger and the double branded crow, they are crow and tiger are not crow, actually not tiger, actually they are the butterfly. So that this was milliweed butterfly and the plain tiger of the African monarchs. The southwestern monsoon milkweed butterfly migrate western from the eastern Ghats, and the dark blue tiger and double branded crow found breeding in the mid of the high altitude evergreen, semi-evergreen, and they are play vital ecological role during the migration. Studying the migration pattern and feeding habits can impact the interconnectedness of the planets. Next one is the reference to Gharial. So Gharial is rivers India are the located in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Gharial reside exclusively river habitat of deep, clear, fast-flowing water and the steep, steady bank. The Gharial feed on the cold-blooded species, that is not, it is cold-blooded. So this Gharial was the Pakistan Punjab province first time after this. Gharial was once widely distributed in the large river and the northern part of the India. Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, Mahanadi, Brahmaputra and Bhutan, Irrawaddy. So major population of the Chambal and the Girwa and Rapti, and that was Gharial reside exclusively the deep, clear and the fast flowing water and the steep sandy bank. The Gharial feed is the warm blooded species होते हैं. Gharial is a long narrow snout, primarily the fish eater, and the life span of the Gharial 50 to 60 while IUCN critically endangered, alteration of habitat, depletion of the prey, dry and destruction habitat and the harvesting of egg and the poaching produce. Comb jelly or the Stenoporus. The comb jelly are also found in fresh water. It is incorrect. Okay, so that is also found in fresh water. The comb jelly. So comb jelly is the defined nervous system and the Ctenophora, and they are connected by single plasma membrane, and whole genome sequencing study of the Ctenophorus. The comb jelly are not found in fresh water and not Ctenophorus species have conservation status. So answer is in front of you. Saksham is stimulating advanced knowledge for sustainable health management, online training and the medical education for all healthcare professionals. So Rajesh Bhushan was Union Health Secretary. Saksham stimulating advanced knowledge for sustainable health is the learning management. This digital learning platform developed by the Health and Family Welfare National Institute for Health Family Welfare New Delhi, stimulating the sustainable health management healthcare and practice. Saksham is a dedicated and unified platform for providing online training, medical education of all health promotion, and it was the equipping healthcare profession. Now next one is with reference to Atal Innovation Mission. It is a flagship initiative set up by the Ministry of Skill Development. That is not true. It is seeks to create an ecosystem innovation entrepreneur across the India. It is not Ministry of the Skill Development. Atal Innovation for the National Technology Week from whom the igniting young minds. Atal Innovation is an Niti Aayog and policy think tank. Objective of the promoting culture, innovation, entrepreneurship, and that was Atal Tinkering Labs and equipped with the technology like the 3D printing, robotics, IoT, and the miniature electronics. AIM was helped to establish the Atal Incubation Center and to promote the product innovation and innovation grant enabling to the various milestones. initiative aimed to stimulate community center innovation, and that was the nation building initiative. The Manas program, its objective provide the universal access to the equitable, affordable, equality, mental health. It will implement the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It is the organizing to the two-tier system of the state level. It is district and state level, and that was Ministry of the Health and Affordable Quality Mental Health Service. The Government of India Union Budget announced the National Tele Mental Health for the universal access to equitable, affordable mental health care. India by the 24/7 Tele Mental Health. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare formed a National Technology Advisor and delivering the information. Two-tier system will comprise the Telemanas and the district mental health. Approved list of the model and the manufacturer. Solar photovoltaic module, that was approved list of model and manufacturer. Ministry of New Energy, that was the solar and photovoltaic, aimed reducing the cost to the solar and time between this application while compliance. The reduction of the application fee 80% and reduction will be the fee reduction. It is shall be the consist of the specifying model for the solar module, and that was the manufacturing and the eligible for use in the government. The National SC/ST Hub Scheme. The scheme works toward the developing new entrepreneurship. That is not true. The hub work for the operate out of the National Smart Industrial Corporation, Delhi. The Dalit India was Commerce Industries also active participant. The scheme was developing new entrepreneur, leveraging the startup. That is not about the SC/ST hub. So it was existing SC/ST, and that was active participation. Industrial Association developing new entrepreneurship startup India program. So it was not, that was done leveraging. Hub would be the National Small Industry Corporation and MSME data bank, Ministry of MSME. This would be the release the database to the accessibility. That is not Startup India. The Meri Life Mera Swachh Shahar, aim of the highlight city for the reduce, reuse, recycle and citizen institution commercial enterprises. It is joint initiative Ministry of Housing and World Bank. That is not Meri Life Mera Swachh Shahar. It was use, recycle, and that was highlight the Santa One stock collection. Ministry of Housing, World Bank is not going to strengthen the citizen resolve under the reduce, reuse and recycle. Collective action for protection, RRR centers, and will serve as a one-stop solution for the citizen and commercial enterprises given to the different stakeholders to the refurbished for the reuse. And Meri Life Mera Shahar will be the culminate to the pledge of life. Liberalized remittance. The scheme enable all the resident individuals excluding minors are allowed to freely remit up $250,000 per financial year. That is not true. It is current account involves remittance to meet the obligations. There was a government has amended the rule under the Foreign Exchange Management Act, and it is 2,500 50,000. That is not current and capital account transaction combined of the both. That is not true. It is individual and the minor. So that was individual including the minor are freely remit to this, and the minor allowed to freely remit. So the scheme is giving liberalizing enable 2,50,000, and it is 2,50,000 is given per financial year, and that is also per financial year is given. So that is not correct, and it was has used the million of Indians facilitate the cross-border money and the permissible current account and remittance to the meet religious obligation and invest remittance to the acquired the asset abroad. Sagarmatha project, port modernization, coastal shipping, port linkage and the coastal community development. Sagarmatha is the flagship promote the port-led development. 7517 km long coastline, 14500 km potential in modernize India's port and Ministry of Port modernizing, coastal shipping, port linkage and coastal community development. Sanchar Sathi portal is a citizen-centric initiative, Department of Telecommunication, It allows citizens to check the connection registered on their names and block the mobile phone which is stolen and lost. Sanchar Sathi has empowered mobile subscribers, strengthen security awareness, check the connection, report fraudulent, block the mobile phones, check the genuineness system, prevent the stolen mobile, know your mobile. TEFCOP is the show the total connections using the paper-based documents and the artificial intelligence, facial recognition. And now there was the second largest telecom ecosystem, mobile phone being a user banking, e-learning. The Samarth campaign promoting digital transaction in the 50,000 gram panchayat. That was Union Ministry of Rural Development campaign promoting digital transaction for the gram panchayat. Amrit Mahotsav, it is campaign promoting digital transaction of 50,000 gram panchayat and 1 February, and the continue to the campaign is to promote the digital transaction rural area. Ministry of Rural Development larger Amrit Mahotsav implemented under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Article of Constitution of the Chief Minister and the other Minister 164. So it is taking about appointments. So the article was during the pleasure of governor, and governor cannot be removed the minister of his own council of minister collected into the legislative assembly. With reference to Gati Shakti, the portal is only accessible to government officials. So that is not true. The PM Gati Shakti open to the public and case will assist anyone. Single window platform infrastructure project in India bring together all the information, aim to improve the coordination of different government agency and a common platform, share information, and this will help to reduce delay. And Gati Shakti portal is valuable tool for anyone interested. Information about help to the improve coordination. The 3C37 empower the enforcement director to assess the equivalent to any foreign exchange, foreign security, or any immovable property. There is no provision of the section 13 regarding safeguard agreed person or entity. That is not true. So that was the High Court section 37A FEMA Act, which is empower the ED to seize the India asset, foreign exchange, foreign and hand to be this India violation of FEMA. Introduced by this, what would be the unmistakable emergence sections not suffer from any manifest arbitration, several safeguard for the agreed person, and pass muster through the several leaders, and that was quite judicial and judicial review appellate tribunal. Central Electricity Authority is a statutory body for the Ministry of Power. It is a chief advisor for the policy and national electricity plan prepared by this is an annual plan for the current needs. So the Central Electricity Authority National Electricity Plan, and that was Central Electricity Authority and the National Electricity Plan an instrument, and it was a statutory body that operates under the Ministry of Power, advisory body in the formulation of the policy. It is an advisory body, okay, and this is headed by the chairperson and the members. Specialization of the power, thermal power. Technical advisor advise the government to technical matters of the generation and transmission, formulate the safety grid standard, develop the central electricity and national electricity, and prepare 5 years plan, and demand forecast, resource planning, infrastructure, environment. That was ensuring achievement national objectives in the electricity sector, and national electricity plan comprehensive development will be given. So it is not a national but prepared as an annual plan that is assess the current electricity projected power, and here is given it is 5 year prepared every 5 year. It is not annual plan actually, so that's why it is wrong. That's national electricity plan. It is national electricity plan and comprehensive framework for future development, not annual but 5 year program. स्कूल में डाल देंगे. Adverse possession allow the trespass to the gain legal ownership. The possessions must be hostile, meaning it's without the consent original owner. The possession must be continuous, uninterrupted, and India is the statutory period of the adverse possession varies from state to state. That is not true. Concept of the adverse possession stems from idea that land should not be the left vacant but should instead use wisely hostile. And now the legal principle summon property extended, so that was correct. And the hostile against the right of the true owner and permission. And now there was a possession by person claiming adverse possession must be continuous, uninterrupted. Next one, it was adverse in 12 year for the private property of the 30 year, not vary from state to state. And Limitation Act was 1963. Commission of Railway Safety. It is responsible investigating serious train accident in Odisha. That is not true. That is report directly to the railway board. That is not true. The recent tragic was Odisha being investigation was the Southeast Circle and it was Admission Control Ministry of Civil Aviation. So road related to safety of the rail travel, and that was inspection of the advisory India, and it was Uttar Pradesh, not Odisha, and does not report the Ministry of Railway directly. Okay, that is also not correct, but it under the administrative control. So being investigated by the Commissioner of the Railway and done to ensure the insulated influence of the railway establishment conflict of interest. Which is the following of Section 6A Delhi Special Establishment approval of central government to conduct inquiry for the investigation. Delhi Special Police Establishment Act approval for the central government to conduct the inquiry or the investigation, that was the central government is approving it. Okay, so Section 6A Act is related to the approval of central government to conduct an inquiry or investigation, shall not conduct any inquiry or investigation into any offence alleged to have been committed under Prevention of the Corruption Act approved by the central. The employee, the central government of the level of the joint secretary and the corporation of the central government. No such approval shall be necessary to case of the arrest. So approval of the central government to conduct inquiry investigation, that was Delhi Establishment Act, and that was the approved by the central government. The Union Civil Code can help promote the gender equality as many of the personal law. Goa has been following the Portuguese Civil Code, which is called the Uniform Civil Code. The Uniform Civil Code simplifies the legal system by replacing existing complex structure. So there was a Uttarakhand cabinet approved by Uniform Civil Code led by the Ranjana Prakash Desai. The Indian Constitution, Uniform Civil Code and the personal law, which are based on the scripture, custom, major religious community, marriage, divorce. Portuguese Civil Code, that was 1867 Goa. It is only Indian state which has implemented Uniform Civil Code. Promote the gender equality and social integration, aim to the integrate social, foster national unity, civil and simplification of the legal system and the existing complex structure. Ensure effective implementation law and the strict compliance, prevent the misuse of this. Now with reference to Krishi Udaan is the both international and national roles to assist the farmer, and the scheme aimed to ensure seamless, cost-effective, time-bound agri-produce and hilly area. That was the both international and national routes for the product, and that was value zero. With this critical mineral for India, it is the first ever report disclosing 30 critical mineral. India has become the newest partner and the coveted mineral security partner. Union Ministry of the Prahlad Joshi unveiled the first ever report critical mineral. ठीक है, ये कहना चाहो तुमने हैक किया है पूरा सिस्टम. Ministry of Mine 30 critical mineral released the critical mineral list, and that was high-tech electronic telecommunication, antimony, beryllium, mineral security partnership 13 member, and the Australia, Canada, Finland, France, and that will be the critical mineral supply globally. पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन इंश्योर हो गई. तो मैं स्टॉप दूँ. ऐसा करना चाहिए। नहीं सुनेगा बेटा, मरा हुआ आदमी कभी नहीं सुनता। Global security initiative recently in the news related to that was China. Global security was by the Chinese president aims to counter US Indo-Pacific Quad and principle of individual security, Asian security, common comprehensive cooperative sustainable US-led Indo-Pacific create a new Cold War Quad grouping into the Five Eyes intelligence area of the AUKUS, and that was broad-based cooperation among the members countries including technology influenced by impact Russia-Ukraine war, and that was Indo-Pacific and Quad. Consider the country that was United States, Britain, China, Japan, Russia, North Korea. Navies of country participate multinational naval exercise Komodo, and that was Komodo was given the Makassar, Indonesia, United States, Britain, China, Japan, Russia, and South Korea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it was correct. And एक्सरसाइज की है इन्होंने, लाइक यहाँ पर दिया है कि only 5. Okay, so multilateral exercise Komodo hosted by Indonesia, that was only 5. Only 5 means United States, Britain, China, Japan, Russia, and South Korea, including that. So it was only 5. Makassar, Indonesia, multilateral naval exercise hosted by the Indonesia, and that was Asia Pacific region, including this. So that was hosted by 5. Recently, Captagon pill. Captagon is often used by the soldier in war zone because it can increase the alertness, reduce the fatigue, and improve the mood. So Captagon pill is a stimulate the Fanny Hill line treatment, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, necrolepsy, and the depression. So that was the European Union addictive potential, and that Syria often used by the soldiers and combated in the war zone because it can increase the alertness, reduce fatigue, and improve the mood. Next one is the UNESCO regarding the General Conference of UNESCO is the decision making and its exclusive board in response to implementation decision. It was consists of 58 members, and that was General Conference for the 4-year measure twice a year, and state that not members of this UNESCO upon the recommendation of executive board 2/3 of the majority vote of General Conference. Hiroshima AI process was initiated during the annual group of the 7 summit. It could not help in resolving intellectual property rights issue of the context of AI. That is not true. Not help in resolving intellectual Hiroshima AI group of the 7 summit Japan Hiroshima and regulated artificial intelligence OECD governance safeguarding intellectual property rights promotion transparency response to the foreign infrastructure and AI technology G7 AI development implementation democracy and the accountability transparency address regulation from state centric. It could be potentially help to resolving the continuous issues such as the intellectual property rights and help to G7 rules principle of this AI. Black Sea and the Green Initiative, Russia, Ukraine and Turkey. Russia, Ukraine and Turkey and UN. ठीक है, Russia, Ukraine and Turkey. It's an entity for the Black Sea, not World Food, not India, not US. Okay. So that was the about Black Sea. So it was Russia president was considering West creating, and Russia has still faced the obstacle. Now there was a address the rise of the world food price and the threat of the famine. Food fertilizer exported, large inland sea, and that was the Georgia, Turkey, Bulgaria. Asia Pacific Plant Protection Commission, it review the plant protection situation. It is also take the leadership for the integrated pest management under that was okay. Pest management, administrative region, plant protection, and country was the regional level. 25 countries are the member of this, and every 2 years leadership role integrated pest management and the capacity of this country. The NATO plus grouping: Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Israel and South Korea. Australia, Japan, New Zealand and South Korea and Israel. Israel is also part of NATO plus. Okay, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, जापान है वहाँ पे, न्यूजीलैंड भी वहीं है, साउथ कोरिया भी वहीं है, वो सारी कंट्री है. नॉर्थ कोरिया इसका पार्ट नहीं है, इसके अलावा इसराइल इसका पार्ट है. ठीक है. सो ग्रुपिंग ऑफ द नॉर्थ अटलांटिक 5 कंट्री, दैट वाज द ऑस्ट्रेलिया, New Zealand, Japan, India and South Korea, and global defense and becoming a NATO plus latest military technology minded North America module, established the North Atlantic Treaty, and that was the protect all this, and it was Brussels, Belgium headquarter. Coalition for disaster is not true. It is primarily focused on rebuilding infrastructure in the country that have already experienced major natural disaster. So that is not the primary rebuilding infrastructure. So it was between the India and Coalition for Disaster Infrastructure, ensuring sustainable development, PM Modi, and key objective क्या है यहाँ पे, resilience, promote research and infrastructure planning. But primary role जो है ना, it is not correct actually. For ensuring sustainable development, that was the primary role. The reference to annual UN list. So India is included in list, UN list of country children are impacted by the armed conflict. India is not in that. You should know about that. The worst deterioration were Myanmar, South Sudan and Burkina Faso, and assess the constraint leading to the under reporting the such violation. The United Nations has removed the India as the annual list of this. The report was titled China Children Armed Conflict. India is removed from the report, and there was a protect the especially Jammu Kashmir and Democratic Republic of Congo, Israel, Palestine, Somalia, Syria, Ukraine, and the worst deteriorating occurred Myanmar, South Sudan, Burkina Faso. Assess constraint leading to under reporting of such violations. So India is not in that. You should know.